Hey modders, welcome back to ModifedRoll. Don't forget we're sponsored by DM Dice. Check out the link to their website in our description, or head over to dmdice.co.uk and use the code ModifedRoll for 10% off all purchases. In the last episode, our party set out for Keyrn with a letter from the leaders of Knights Valor explaining what had happened. Their journey was relatively uneventful until they witnessed a meteor shower and a falling star crashing into the earth. After an unexpected encounter, they decided their best option was to ignore it and move on. We join them now as they continue their journey, hoping that it remains uneventful. Unfortunately, that's not likely to be the case in this episode 10 of season 2 of ModifedRoll, Encounter by Moonlight. So, you guys, you're walking through this upland region and you've just pulled the wagon over towards the river as you needed to refill your water skins and stuff, and you found a location where there's the land slopes down gently. So a couple of large rock formations that overlook this section of the river. They're not particularly tall, maybe only 9-10 feet, but you've sort of found your way into this little cleft between them that leads down to the river. And as you've pulled the wagon up, you've sort of tied the horses up while you sort out your water skins and just refresh. You hear a odd laughter echoing over the stones.
Ow.
And standing on top of the stones next to you are what appear to be some very large hyena-looking creatures standing on two legs.
Jesus. So who wants a pet hyena?
As well as a hyena.
Oh. And a hyena. Oh,
and a hyena. They've been lying in wait at this section of the river, and they sort of pop up on top of these stones, looking down on each of you. And what I'm actually going to do is give each of you a perception check just to see if you could hear them and prepare yourselves before they moved in close enough to attack.
Perception. 18.
I got 6.
I got
a 2.
I got a 5.
Oh yeah!
Wow. Just me, the useless one.
So Twilight, as you sort of melt by the river, filling up your water skin, you hear a scratching, a scrabbling on the rock, and a few rocks bounce down next to you, and it's just enough time for you to turn and draw your weapon, your spell focus, whatever it is you want to draw. As you see this hyena creature looking over the top of the stone down towards you. And we're going to enter initiative. Twilight will be the only person to act in the surprise round.
Cool.
Shit. Oh, 20.
5.
Oh.
Oh, and is this initiative? 5.
5? Do you not have any
So, Kaz and
Alright.
Twilight, who's got the higher dexterity modifier?
I've got 2.
My dexterity is -1, so yeah.
So Kaz gets to go first.
I also have to let the side down. I got a 6.
Oh, God.
I mean, I rolled a 6 and then it was -1 because my initiative's -1.
I rolled a 3.
Oh.
And +2.
Okay, so
But I get a surprise round, so...
you will be involved in the surprise round. So unfortunately, Anna, you would have gone first, but that just isn't the case this time. Giliana, you hear this laughter and you look up, and directly on the stone, sort of 10 feet above you, is this horrific hyena-looking creature. And actually, before we move on, I'm going to let everyone roll a nature check. Or again, we'll do... actually, you do religion on this one, and I'll let Sinclair and... Actually, just Sinclair and Giliana can roll at advantage.
For what was the check, sorry?
Either nature or religion.
I rolled an 18 for nature. They're both at 0, so it don't matter.
Religion. 16 for Sinclair on religion.
I got 19.
Okay.
Nice.
I got
Twilight.
20, not natural.
Damn, all of you guys know exactly what these are. These are gnolls.
The bitches.
These are feral humanoids. Obviously, mostly they look like hyenas. They were created by the demon lord Yenogu, and they found, he essentially created them in the material plane to run amok. These are leftovers of the demon wars, because these have the ability to spread their own kind. They don't they're unlike like actual demons which have to be summoned. These are like creatures that are found on the material plane and can propagate their own kind. So there are various ways of making them that you're aware of. The original ones were a pack of ordinary hyenas followed Yunogu whenever he strode through the material plane. And when they scavenged in his wake, they were transformed into the first gnolls. And they're nomadic destroyers. They can strike randomly and just wherever and whenever. They emerge from wilderness, plunder, slaughter, and then move on when there's no food left. They attack like locusts, pillaging settlements and leaving little behind, but raze buildings and gnawed corpses and befouled land. They tend to choose easy targets or ambushes, like what's happened here. And they don't build permanent structures or craft anything of lasting value. Their whole thing is just moving, eating, and slaughtering. All of you also know there is no reasoning with these creatures. There's no goodness or compassion in the heart of an gnoll. They're essentially the material plane's equivalent of a demon, or as close as you can get. Doesn't have a conscience, can't be coerced or reasoned with. They just want to eat. I will say as well, those of you who rolled 18 and above, you recognise that one is just a standard gnoll and one is a hunter.
Okay.
So the standard gnoll is going to pull a bow around and take a shot at Giliana as you're the closest one to them. And luckily, I don't think a 9 hits. Well, actually, no, tell a lie. Surprise round, he has advantage. I don't think a 12 hits either, so...
No.
Okay, cool. So he pulls this longbow, but you're just quick enough, even though he's completely caught you by surprise. You spin round as you hear this laughter, as it draws back this bow and looses, and you just dive backwards as this arrow splashes into the river next to you. The hyena stood next to him, however, is going to leap down, taking this opportunity to try and grab you. That one rolled a bit higher, so does a 18 hit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
It leaps, as you're sort of like diving backwards, you're off balance, and this hyena takes this opportunity, almost like it's been practiced, and it leaps off this stone and lands on top of you, sinking its teeth into your shoulder and worrying you as you push away. You manage to get your arm up and knock its head back, and you step back away from it, but there's currently blood gushing from a wound that it's pierced into your shoulder. And it has that horrible hyena laughter, which I'm not going to try and mimic again. Then, Twilight, you have enough time, you had enough warning to react. You see these two that have sort of started attacking Giliana, but directly above you and Sinclair, you can spot another gnoll, this hunter, which is sort of leaning over the stone above the two of you. What would you like to do?
How far away is it?
The one above you is only like probably 10 feet up and sort of a couple of feet back on the stones. Probably say like a total of like 10 or 15 feet.
Nice. Okay. I'm gonna Sacred Flame.
Okay, cool. And that like completely ignores cover because it's a dexterity check.
Yes, dexterity check.
Cool. So it's a 16 save.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate. You spot this thing, and before it can even get an attack in, you begin casting Sacred Flame. But it was watching all of you, and it catches what you're doing, and before you can finish the spell, it leaps back as this holy fire washes over the stone where it was previously standing, and it avoids the attack.
I'm just going to stick my tongue out.
It is now its turn.
No.
It's going to lean over, and it's also going to pull out its longbow. This one doesn't get surprise attack against you, because you obviously were in the surprise round. But it rolled a 15, does that hit?
Yeah, that's my armor class.
Okay,
Beats it.
Luckily enough, I rolled the worst it could do, so it only deals 3 damage. So this thing leans forward and in quick succession launches 2 arrows down at you. And you manage to jump out of the way the first one, but as you land, the second one catches you in the thigh and just pins straight through what, you don't wear a lot of armor, but it pierces through your thigh into the flesh, and luckily you don't think it's going to make lasting damage, but it hurts.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jordan, how
yeah.
many hit points did I take?
That's a good... I've rolled it. I don't know if I said that, so I'm just going to... I'll just re-roll it. 2. You take 2 damage.
Okay.
So now we're back at the top of the order. Anna, it is your turn.
Okay, so... Oh, God. She's going to take out her short sword.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to attack the one that's closest to her that attacked her.
The hyena.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
That bastard. Okay, so that was a 25.
That definitely hits.
Fuck you. So that's 1d6. I don't get, well, obviously I don't get sneak attack, so that's
No, not on this
irritating. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm really angry. So that's 10 points of damage.
How do you kill this first hyena?
I'm gonna fucking behead it straight through. One sweep, just fuck you.
So this hyena's like bit into your shoulder and it's like dropped back onto all fours. It's looking up to you. And you just spin round with your sword. You grit your teeth at the pain in your shoulder, but you take your sword in both hands and you sidestep this thing so that you're almost like side onto it and swing your blade down, and it cuts neatly through this thing's neck as it's sort of like, and then just dead.
Jesus.
Then I'm gonna put my sword. No, I'm gonna keep it in my hand. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it in my hand. And then, how far away am I from the rocks?
I mean, I'd say from where you are now, you're probably 5 feet from the base of the rocks, and they're about 10 feet up. If you wanted to get around to get to the knoll on top, you'd probably have to expend like your full 30 feet of movement to get round to get to him.
Yeah, I want to do that, but I don't want him to see me.
Right. So what you can do is you can run up to the rock, take your hide action, and then move around the rock.
That's what I want to do.
Okay. Do you want to do it on this turn? Or do you want to hide for now and then move up there on the next turn? Because bear in mind, if you get up there now, he'll see you and you can't attack.
No, I just want to get to the rock and hide on this
cool.
turn.
I'll just move you to up there. So yeah, you run to the base of the stone where he's standing on top while I get out of his line of sight, and you hide. So give me a stealth check.
Oh, natural 20.
You guys see Gilliana run up to the stone, and you see her like flip her cloak back, and it's not even like a grey cloak, but for some reason she just like melds in with the shadow at the base of these stones, and even you guys are struggling to see her, like, even though you watched her do this.
Probably doing some.
I don't. Do you know what? I have I'm really proficient in stealth. I have a 9 in stealth, so that was 29.
That was nearly good enough to hide from a god. So. So I take that back. You guys, with the +9, you guys don't see Gilliana. You watched her run up, and now you don't know where she is. You think there might be like a hole under the stone she slipped her way into. You're not quite sure. With that said, it's now the gnoll's turn on top of the stone. It sees you kill this hyena, but then you disappear from its vision. It can't see you. So it's going to take a shot at the next person it can see, which is going to be Kazisel, just judging from where you guys are in this order. Kazisel does a 21. I'm not going to ask. A 21 hits.
Yes, it indeed hits.
So
just
hits. That's gonna. Ooh, unfortunately, I rolled the highest for you. That's a 8. That's 8 pierce. Oh no, sorry, 7 piercing damage.
Ouch!
As this arrow launches out and clips you on the arm. Say clips. It's embedded in your arm. I shouldn't say clips. It's embedded in your bicep.
Ouch.
But that's pretty much all this gnoll can do this turn. The hyena is dead. So Sinclair, it is your turn.
Right. Is there? Do you think it would be possible to get if he did get towards the hunter up here? If he expended his full movement to get around,
yes.
From that position, could he make it?
Yes, definitely. I would say, like I said, these stones are only like 10 feet tall. Like at the very least, you could scramble up it in a turn. Like they're not like, you know, your character's like 8 feet tall. You could reach up, grab the lip, and pull yourself up. Like,
yeah, that's true. And obviously that would take what, a couple of feet.
We'll say
to
get you up there is going to cost you 20 feet of movement, so you would still have 10 feet. So that would get up next to him.
Yeah. Sinclair is going to approach the rock and clamber his way up.
Perfect. As you do, you spot another hyena which was lying in wait.
Excellent.
And
another challenge.
Yeah, it's going to bite you, or it's going to attempt to bite you anyway. But I don't think an 8 hits your armor class.
No.
Cool. So this hyena, it's literally like crouched down waiting, and as you like get up and pull your weight up, it just sort of like springs out from behind this bit of stone it was hiding behind, and you can see it's almost like vibrating with this like
just being told that it can't move. It's like been waiting to like sink its teeth into something, and it leaps forward and attempts to put its teeth around your arm, but you just stick your your vambrace forearm into its mouth, and it can't like get a grip and bite down. And it's just sort of snarling and slobbering over your arm. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
Right. Even though there's now a second opponent up here, still focused on the hunter, Sinclair's going to get up to the rock, and then with his other hand, he's going to draw his great sword, and he's going to take a low swing at the Knoll Hunter.
Yep.
That is base 17.
Definitely hits.
Right, cool. That is 12 points of slashing damage.
Damn. Yep. This thing's got the longbow. It sees you coming, and you can see it start to fumble to drop the longbow and pull out a spear. But as soon as it drops the longbow, you take that opportunity, you step forward, and you slash down with your sword and cut right across its body. You can tell these things aren't heavily armored, and actually up close, you can tell it's mostly wearing like scraps of leather and bits of what may have been people at some point. It's not particularly well protected as your blade just cuts across its body. But that said, these things are incredibly muscular, and you feel it bite deep, and there's a lot of blood, but it's still standing. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Still standing, you say?
Yep.
Well, feeling divine light of Paylor on his journey for Sinclair's bonus action, he is going to divine smite.
Yeah!
So what happens is, for a moment, Sinclair focuses, his eyes glow pure white. His blade begins to be enveloped in what is sunlight. Emblems of the sun, wheat, the harvest appear all up the blade, and then he takes it and swings it once again at the knoll.
So, can you make a second attack this turn, or will that take effect on your next turn?
It's based.
Yeah. You could cast the Divine Smite as a bonus action, but I'm pretty sure it's on your next attack, isn't it?
Ah, shit. Yeah, it probably is, isn't it?
I mean,
early on.
I mean, if you want, we can retroactively say you did that before you hit it. But and if you do, that's going to be your,
Yeah. We'll say he did it.
Okay, so as you crawl up, what you described as happened before you made the hit. So I'll let you add that additional damage onto the attack.
Yeah. Sorry, I remember that for next time.
No, that's fine.
Do I get to add anything for that? No, it's just a straight roll. Cool. That is 6 points of radiant damage.
Cool. It's still up. So on top of what I described before, though, there is this bright white fire that licks across the wound as your blade cuts across its body, and these horrible bits of leather and armor burn away almost, and the wound is ashy and grey as the sword cuts away from it. Well, I assume that's the end of your turn?
Yep, that's the end of Sinclair's turn.
Cool. Kazisol, what would you like to do? You've just seen Sinclair scramble up the stone and attack this knoll in this burst of bright white light.
And I've been attacked from the other side.
You're going to run to the other knoll? Or are you going to attack the same one that Sinclair's attacking?
I'm going to try and attack the one that attacked me. How tall are these rocks?
Like I said, they're about 10 feet. If you, from where you are, you could get around and go up the gentler slope on the back if you want. It's the one that attacked you is the one that Giliana's currently hiding under.
Yeah.
So you could get there with your full movement speed.
Yeah. I'm going to,
Okay.
go up next to it.
So, when you scramble around these stones, you hear another yipping noise. And this horrible hyena-like laughter as another hyena launches its way out of the stones.
Another one?
21, I'm assuming, is going to hit you.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. So that's 3 damage to you as this hyena launches forward as you scramble around the rocks, and you're heading straight towards the knoll. And as you do, you plant one of your feet to push yourself up, and this huge hyena's head just appears out of nowhere and latches onto your lower leg, and it worries you for a second, and it feels like you've been caught in a bear trap. But after a second or so, it lets go and moves back and steps in front of you. So you've now got the hyena and the knoll. I'll let you continue your turn. What would you like to do?
Quick question. Would using my breath weapon cause them to be able to make an attack?
Unless you plan on moving away to do it, no.
In that case, I'm going to use my breath attack to try and get the... Would it be able to get the 2? Or... No.
I'd say where you are, they've almost like tried to like pincer you, so they're not quite on the opposite sides of you, but they are like
Okay.
one's in front of you and one's off to your side. So I would say you probably wouldn't be able to get both of them in this. I will say you did watch Giliana behead one of the hyenas, so you could probably take a stab in the dark and say it's probably not your biggest threat currently.
Yeah, both are a threat at the minute. I'm going to take the hand axe and swipe at the humanoid one.
No,
Yeah.
Okay, roll the attack.
So that is a 16.
16 hits.
So that is a so that's 4.
Yep, your axe bites in. You see it like this gnoll, as opposed to the other one's wearing slightly thicker hide armor, so there's a lot more. Again, I say hide armor. This isn't like tanned and prepared armor that you guys are used to. This just looks like this creature has cut the thicker hide off of some animal and is like wearing it. I haven't described it really, but you guys, any of you guys who are close enough to be within melee range, these creatures stink, and I cannot overstate that. They smell vile. They smell like rotten meat and decaying animal. Like, they do not smell good.
Oh, good job we're not hungover.
And then I'm going to spend a key point for Flurry of Blows.
Yep.
So that will follow up with a punch from my left hand. So an 18 for the first punch.
That hits.
That does 3 points of damage.
Yep.
And a 14.
That also hits. Yep.
And that is 4 points of damage.
You bit in with your axe, and it caused it to like almost its leg went out from under it as you bit into its leg with your axe, and it gives you an opening to follow up with the 2 punches. And you rock its head back, and you've smashed up part of its muzzle, and there's blood gushing from its face, but it's still standing. And it's you see it similar to the one across the way is like starting to throw down its spear or throw down its bow, and you see it reaching for a spear. That said, it's now Twilight's turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so have just seen all the stuff that's going on, but also just seen Sinclair obviously smite the knoll up on the rock with him.
Yeah, I would also say that you can't see either of the 2 hyenas because they're so much lower to the ground. You can't see either of those. But you obviously heard some more yipping and growling.
Yeah, so I assume that's more. But I'm going to stay where I am at the Mo, and I'm going to Kamehameha and Guiding Bolt the knoll that Sinclair smited.
Okay, is that one to roll to attack, or is that a saving throw?
It is a roll to attack.
Okay, roll to attack. then.
And that is an 18 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Ooh.
Oh, 16 points of damage.
Ooh.
I'm not actually going to ask you how you kill this one. I'm just going to tell you because it was slight overkill. This thing has just pulled its spear around Sinclair, and it's like you see it getting ready to stab you, and it rears back, and like as it twists its body back to like pull its arm back to like launch the spear at you. What color was your guiding bolt again? It was like it was like starlight.
Purple. Yeah, it's like purpley,
purple.
like galaxy colorations.
This swirling galaxy of energy, this purple coloration, blasts up from over your shoulder. Well, lower down, but it blasts upward, and it takes this gnoll full in the chest, and it just puts a hole in it. Like where this energy hits it, it just leaves a hole, and there's like blood and gore falling from this creature as it falls over dead. That was beyond overkill. Like, it's gone. Is there anything else you'd like to do in your turn, Twilight?
Just as a bonus action, I'm going to yell to
Just for the
Sinclair.
record, nothing was on 4 hit points.
Oh, Jesus. 12 overkill. I'm just going to, as my bonus action, yell to Sinclair. And that was a smite courtesy of Salune. And that's
Fair enough. It was going to be the Gnoll Hunter's turn, but it's dead. So, Ilyana, from your hiding spot, you've seen Kazisel run past you and head up to the Gnoll above you. What would you like to do?
I want to. Can I get up there without the? I want to get.
You've rolled a natural 20. You can get up, but you won't be able to get past the hyena without being seen. So if you want to duck around the rock and attack the hyena, you get a sneak attack on him. Or or you could climb up the rock and attack the knoll, and I would just make you do another stealth check to make sure you don't make any noise when you're climbing up the rock. So you can either get sneak attack on the hyena, or make another stealth check and then sneak attack the knoll. Actually, hold on. You have with you. No, hold on. Remind me.
What?
Because Easel's within melee range of the knoll, isn't he? So you would get sneak attack regardless.
Do I get that already?
Yeah, because Easel's in like if he's in melee range of the enemy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll just go for the knoll then.
Okay, are you gonna do melee attack or range attack?
Melee attack.
Okay, so we'll say that you can squeeze up there past Kazisel to get within melee range of the knoll and make your melee attack.
So scared.
Gotcha.
23.
That hits. That hits.
That is 9 points of damage to the knoll.
Is that including your sneak attack?
Oh, it is not. It is not.
I didn't think it was.
12 points of damage.
How would you like to do this?
I'm gonna hold my short sword. I'm gonna get my sword. And see, I planned this to use my sword today because I have my sword. And I'm gonna grab it, and I'm behind it. I'm just gonna go.
Chew on
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna say, you know, you're literally right next to a river. You could have taken a bath before you did this. Like, it's common courtesy. I'm gonna stab him in the stomach, and I'm just gonna like lift my sword up as far as possible.
Yeah, you essentially
Bring it right
disembowel
up.
this creature,
That's what I want to do.
and I think you all roll high enough that you know what the sort of thing this creature eats. You try to avoid looking at what spills out just in case, but it spills out, and this thing, as you just cut through it, and I sounded more like a monkey, I think, but bottom line is, it falls over dead. And you've just got the two hyenas left to deal with. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I would like to. I feel like I want to use. No, I think I want to just stay there.
Okay. Then it would be the Noel, but he's dead. So it's the hyena. The first one is gonna continue attacking Sinclair, since it had a bite out of him. Damn, these are rolling really well against you and only you. That's a 21 to hit again.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
That's gonna be 5 damage.
5, okay.
And then the other one is going to attack Kazisel. That one rolled really poorly. That was only a 4.
Yeah, I survived that one.
You're really fine for that one. So then it is Sinclair's turn. You've just got a hyena chewing at your legs.
So it stopped going for the arm now, and now it wants to be at the leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wants my thick thighs.
Not really thick. I want to know which bit is better.
Yeah, Sinclair, sort of, having the hyena go for the arm, then goes for the leg. Hearing Twilight say something, sort of looks to one side, looks to the other, shrugs, and then takes an upward swing towards the hyena.
Roll to attack.
That is a 15 to hit.
That hits. I'm pretty sure. What are your modifiers for this attack roll? Like damage modifier?
Oh, for the actual damage, +4.
Yeah, you literally can't roll low enough not to kill this thing. How do you kill it?
Boom. He's just going to upward swing as hard as he can, and sort of cut the hyena in half along its belly.
Yep, you do that.
Hell yeah.
You do that. So then, Kazisel, you've got just your hyena left in front of you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna grab my axe, my hand axe, and slash towards the hyena.
Yep, roll the attack.
Does a 20 hit?
Definitely hits, yeah.
That's unnatural.
Yeah.
And for damage, it is +1 for that. So that is a 5.
How do you kill this hyena?
Woo!
Taking notes from Giliana, I'm gonna behead the hyena too.
I mean, that's more impressive considering that your axe is a lot smaller than her sword is.
Yeah, but it's gonna chop through.
It takes a couple of attempts, but you manage it. You just
Yeah, I'm just like, I wanna show I'm learning.
And Gilliana's just holding her thumbs up. She's like,
Am I doing it?
yeah,
Doing a great job.
brilliant. Just keep going, keep chopping. It'll come off soon.
And with that, we're out of initiative.
Hey.
Woo!
We all killed one.
Yeah, we
Team.
did.
Well done, team.
Good job.
Team.
I need to heal up.
Is there anything you'd want? Yeah, is there anything you want to do with these, like the remains of these bodies, or would you guys just like finish filling up your water skins and move on?
Burn them. No,
Would they have anything of value on any of them?
Absolutely not. These things do not care for like material gate. They just want to eat. Like I said, even their armor was made up of just like freshly skinned animals and maybe some people.
Ew.
Yeah, no, I don't want to touch them.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yeah, let's
no.
just go.
Fill up our water and bounce. Just leave their corpses in the midday sun.
All of you can give me a insight check.
Ooh. Didn't think I had that much. 20, not natural.
7.
23 with a natural 20.
Oh.
Between you, like, I'll say this something that I'm assuming you would discuss it amongst yourselves anyway. So between you all, it's a little bit worrying that these gnolls were like, you know, you're not in the middle of a highly populated area, but you know, this is still what's considered like civilized land. It's a bit worrying that a pack of gnolls are roaming about. You would expect this more towards like the borders or sort of areas north of Keyrn in the more arid deserty regions. It's a bit worrying that creatures like this are able to wander around, and it just go and you kind of realize it goes to show how much that change to sort of Knights Valor, to the fact that there's not been people sort of like protecting the region as they should have been, and there's just been, you know, things haven't been right for a while, and it's starting to show an effect in that things like this are able to just wander around the countryside. So it's a little bit worrying, but there's not much you can do about it right now other than what you're already doing.
Kill them.
And would I make the connection with the gnolls to the like wall?
Oh yeah, you know that these things would be like it's something you would have been trained on from like your like you rolled pretty high, didn't you, when you did that earlier? Yeah, you know that these things like were created in the demon, where they are not so much followers but like creations of Yenogu, and they're just, their whole thing is just like going around slaughtering, killing, eating.
Yeah, they're just abominations.
Yeah, but yeah, you'd be right in saying that they are like sort of leftovers from the war. Like these haven't. You would know enough that the chances of these being like new creations are pretty slim. You just know that gnolls have a way of like propagating their own kind. It's not pretty, but like if not kept to a minimum, like, you know, there's always gonna be some that get away. But unless you like keep them to a minimum, they will just keep multiplying, and it becomes like a big problem.
We need to ask why these gnolls were left to their own devices.
Yeah, I guess we can ask in Can.
It's lucky that we came across them and not some innocent people.
Yeah.
But again, you suspect from some of the stuff they were wearing that they've maybe come across from some innocent people in the past few days.
Well, they're not going to come across any more innocent people, which is the main thing.
Lucky they came across with us and we are not innocent.
Well, that's true.
Okay, so that was sort of day 6. Do you guys want to do like any immediate healing or anything, or are you just going to wait until you make camp that night?
Nah.
How are people looking?
I'm okay.
If I had to put a number on it, I'd say 2.
Oh,
On 2 hit points?
Yeah.
No,
That
heal.
first hit almost killed me, and then the hyena.
let me
Dropped
just
it down a bit.
hit you with a quick cure wounds before we go any further.
I need to start keeping track of your guys' hit points on my sheet because I forget how low it is.
That's why I was like, oh, yeah, the hyena's still an issue.
I rolled max healing, so I get 10 points of healing.
All good.
Yay. I'm back to max health. I only have 12.
I just walk over, see you like dying, and like, ooh, and just like tap you on the head with like a little cure wounds.
Yeah, I also took a hit, but not as bad as that.
Yeah, mine's fine.
Yeah, no, I took a little hit.
Yeah, I'll use my lay on hands to heal up.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I
go
think
to
I'm fine.
Cecil and say, maybe if you're on your deathbed, beheading isn't the best option. Next time, it's your health before death of another being. That's the advice I would give you, and I'm gonna tap him on the. Oh, Well, I'll not tap him where he's injured. I'll just tap him somewhere.
I just don't
Fairly
forget, you guys do
perfect.
have some healing potions as well now.
Yeah, but we'll save those for when we're.
Yeah, I don't think the healing potion would have really helped with that.
Yeah, well, also, like, just narratively, the horses probably lost their fucking shit when you just turned up. But you did have them tied up, so they are still fine. They're nearby. You haven't lost the wagon or anything.
I'm gonna stroke Maple Stirrup's nose.
I'll stroke
It's okay.
Patches.
I'll get on the wagon.
And then you head off and you continue traveling for the day. So into the evening, on the 6th evening, absolutely nothing occurs, and you can all fully heal up, fully rest up your spells.
I get my key point back.
Hey.
7th day. Ooh, Twilight, that's another one on you.
Oh,
Ooh,
guys,
Oh,
sorry.
the Chaos Queen strikes again.
Okay, but this one's actually quite nice. So
Oh,
by the 7th day, you are within, over the last couple of days, you've had like this sort of mountainous image ahead of you, sort of getting bigger as you got closer to it, and you can see these peaks.
it's just like home.
It's just like home for you. As they sort of range out across the horizon in front of you, and as you get close to the foot of the hills, where they really start to it goes from like a gentle incline to, we're gaining some height sort of region, but it then sort of like evens out, and you find yourself almost coming into the beginnings of what appears to be a ravine. You're now the road now moves closer to the river, where it's cut between this mountain range, and you come across at the base of the more steep incline a small forest. And you guys have sort of like, you're picking out your campsite for the evening, and I'd say I'm just going to roll randomly to see who it is comes across it. Twilight, you're first on my list, so number 1 applies to you. You are like off gathering bits of firewood for setting up the camp, and I'm not going to make you roll perception because it's part of otherwise you're just going to completely miss the encounter. But essentially, as you're picking up firewood or just twigs and branches and stuff, you pick one up, and there's a long silver thread hanging from it.
Does it lead somewhere, or is it just like hanging from it?
Just like it's sort of like wrapped, not even wrapped, but it's like this thing is like caught on this twig. I would say it's probably about the length of your forearm.
Ooh.
Just this silvery thread. If you want, you can roll an investigation check, see if you can work out what it is.
Let me have a look. Investigation. 14?
It is some sort of animal hair.
I'm going to look around, see if I can see anything.
Yeah, you can give me another give me an investigation, or what's the fucking tracking one? Not nature. What's the other one? Survival. Either survival or an investigation check.
They're both the same. 18.
ooh.
Yeah. Which one did you roll though?
Let's go investigation. I'll go investigation.
Yeah. As you look around, you're trying to find sort of evidence of what you've seen before, and you see more of these silvery threads, and you can tell they're going like in a direction. You can tell that some animal has come through here, and bits of its like fur or hair or whatever this is has caught on some of these branches as it's moved through.
I'll follow the hairs.
Okay. Yeah, you can keep following them, and you eventually find yourself in a clearing. At this point, like I say, you're only just starting to make camp. You guys wouldn't have even like started cooking yet, so it's still relatively early in the evening. And you can, now that you're in this clearing and you're like moved out from underneath the heavier foliage, you can see what appear to be hoof prints moving through this clearing. You can't see whatever animal they've come from yet,
I'm going to
but they are moving further and further away from your camp.
see if I can stealthily follow.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to want to follow the tracks, you are going to make a survival check at this point if you want to follow the tracks further into the forest.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll make a survival check. 20, not natural, but 20.
Ooh.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, how far would you plan on following these? Because you are moving further and further away from your campsite at the minute.
I mean, it's twilight. I'm going to follow it until I find out what's at the end of it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, it was a 20-year-old in your survival check?
Yeah.
Cool. You find a very clear set of tracks. The rest of you, You're set at camp. You're just sort of getting things set up. One of you sort of like taking down the horse's tack and unhitch them from the wagon. You've hitched them up to a tree nearby where there's like a little shallow stream where they can drink water if they need to. One of you setting up your tents and your bedrolls. The other's preparing like a cooking fire. And you all kind of realize the sun's starting to go down. It hasn't like gone down yet, but the sun has just hit the horizon. And the sky is going from that beautiful blue from the afternoon into like an auburn. You realize twilight has been gone for about 2 hours at this point.
Has anybody seen Twilight anywhere?
Cecil, I thought you were supposed to be keeping an eye.
It was your turn to watch the toddler.
They were just some other. Thought they were back here.
Okay, who didn't assign Twilight a job to keep her busy while we were setting up camp?
I thought that was your job.
I thought it was your job today.
Well,
I did it
my
yesterday.
Can we stop this bickering and actually see where they've gone?
Can Mummy and Daddy stop fighting, please?
Right, well, can anybody see any inkling where she went, or...
You guys like wouldn't like. I was like James, nobody assigned her up. She went to collect firewood. You know which direction she went, but unless you like go and start investigating for tracks and stuff, you'll not be able to fault. You'll have to go and try and like track her essentially.
Looks like we're gonna have to go find Twilight.
Well, I guess we're eating late again tonight.
So do you all head off to find her?
Yeah, let's all go and
Yeah.
find Twilight.
Okay, cool.
Wait. I'm gonna go to the horses and go, you two,
You're in
be
charge.
good. Yeah, you're in charge of the camp. Be good. Maple.
They wander off and they're gone.
So, which one of you is going to roll either a investigation or survival check to track her? And I will allow one of you to assist if you can give me a good enough reason to how you're going to help.
Probably.
What were the two?
Investigation or survival.
And this is like forest on a mountain sort of area.
It's forest, like on a slight incline heading into the mountains.
Sinclair, having his roots for his heritage with mountains, is sort of semi-familiar with them, so he'll lead an investigation.
And being of the same sort of origin, I feel like I should be assisting with that.
Just point out,
sort of
neither
land
of these things have anything to do with tracking, but I'll allow it.
We're going to scour for tracks.
Yeah, and I'm going to assist.
Yeah, I'll let you roll, and with Kazisel assisting, you can roll an advantage.
Okay. Let's have a good roll. Oh, nat 20, baby!
Yeah.
To be fair, I wasn't going to make this particularly hard check, because it's not like Twilight was being, like, stealthy. You immediately find her tracks.
There they are.
Just like trails of glitter.
Yes, follow the sparkly tracks.
Please remind me to give Twilight some stealth lessons when we find her, please.
Yes, I agree.
But if you did, she'd be harder to find when she wanders off.
Exactly. That might be going against what we want to do and make sure we know where each other are.
But we're going to learn from our mistakes, and she's going to learn as well. It's the learning process. Every day's a school day.
So you guys head off following her quite clear tracks. We cut back to twilight. At this point, the sun has only got a sliver above the horizon, and especially here in this forest, there's very little light getting through. It is getting dark, but you have dark vision, so that's not a massive issue. But it is getting harder and harder to follow these tracks. Until eventually, you come upon another larger clearing. At this point, the moon is up, the stars are out, and a light shines down into the clearing. And as the sun just fully dips below the horizon, a creature steps out of the tree line in front of you. You see a unicorn.
I knew it.
Silvery fur glistening and reflecting the moon and starlight in front of you. And just for those on the webcams, I'll show you just a quick.
Oh my
Look at it.
god. I'm so jealous.
As it moves, its body ripples with muscle and sinew, and its hair flows in the breeze. Its mane flows in this breeze. But there's still that sort of moment where you think, this is a great big horse with a weapon on its head. So there's that moment of, careful. You can roll a nature check to see what you know about unicorns.
19.
You guys are rolling really well on these.
I mean,
It's fate.
unicorn check for Twilight does seem like...
It seems about right.
Twilight Sparkle.
No.
Hello, my name is Twilight Sparkle. I'm so glad we could meet. You know that unicorns are divine guardians. They are good creatures, genuinely, like alignment-wise, they are good creatures placed in the material plane to ward away evil and preserve protected and sacred places. They often protect bounded realms such as enchanted forests, although sometimes they can be sent to guard sacred artifacts or specific creatures. When the forces of darkness strike against an individual the gods wish to protect, they might send an individual to Unicorn's forest, where evil creatures can't pursue them, or would do so at their own peril. They quite often serve deities of the forest and woodlands, including the gods of benevolent fae. Although all unicorn have natural healing power, some serve the gods in greater capacities, performing miracles normally reserved for high priests. A unicorn's forest is a celestial realm where nothing that occurs beneath the sun-dappled leaves escapes its notice. Unicorns roam their domains constantly, moving ever so carefully so as not to disturb the other denizens. A creature might catch a passing glimpse of the unicorn, then suddenly see nothing but the wild woods. You know that their horns are sacred and are the source of their power, and you know that when darkness and evil threaten to overwhelm the mortal world, the gods sometimes see fit to pair a unicorn mount with a champion. Paladin astride a unicorn as a sign of the gods' direct intervention in the affairs of the mortal realm. You also know that they speak Celestial, Elven, Sylvan, and do so through telepathy.
I speak Celestial.
So do
I
I.
think I do as well.
I
We
speak.
can have a conversation.
I speak.
I also
Sylvan.
like that. I'm pretty sure you also all speak Elvish.
Well, I'm an elf, so
Exactly.
I don't know the elf tongue.
No, neither do I actually. I only Sylvan.
Neither do
I
I.
thought you all, I thought like the three of you all spoke Elvish, but either way, yeah, you can still speak to it in Sylvan or Celestial.
Yeah. I will slowly creep out into the clearing with like my hand.
Oh, it knows you're there. It's staring at you.
Okay. I'm gonna walk towards it slowly. And like with my hand out, see if it'll like let me touch it. I don't know. We'll be like, "Hi, hello, I'm Twilight."
Before you even like get close enough to it, you hear a voice in your head.
unicorn voice.
I have to come up with something good for this one. Hello, little one.
Hi.
What are you doing out in the forest at this place and time?
Well, I was collecting firewood, and then I got distracted because I found this hair, and then I walked here, and then I saw this, and you're like, "Wow!" And I was like, "Oh my god!" And, I'm talking. Okay, yeah, I'm collecting firewood.
He like shakes his me here, snorts and shakes his me in. Daughter of Sulune, you are welcome here for a time to rest, but do not dally. There are things I must protect here, and your presence draws curious eyes. And you see him like look over your shoulder, and you hear in the distance crashing through the trees Sinclair in his armor.
Shouting for Twilight.
That's.
You're
fine.
all welcome to rest here, and you will be under my protection for the time.
Thank you. We won't stay long, but thank you for the protection and letting me see you.
He nods, bows his head low. May the stars guide your travel.
And may your forest stay safe.
He nods, and if a unicorn could smile, you think he would smile at that. And he rears back, his hooves pawing at the air, and turns and slowly canters back into the forest in the direction he came from. At which point, your three party mates come crashing into the clearing.
Twilight!
Twilight.
Twilight!
She's just kind of like stood there, like, you know, like just like when someone, you know, like when a fangirl meets someone famous, just kind of like, she's just kind of like staring at the spot it was in with like sparkly senpai eyes.
Can we see Twilight now?
Oh yeah, you've come into the clearing, you can see her.
Twilight, what have we told you about wandering off on your own? Hello, Twilight.
She's just gonna like slowly turn.
Oh my god. Guys, what happened to Twilight?
Somebody does anybody know about poisons? Maybe she ate something she shouldn't have.
Shit! Okay, I'm gonna grow.
Guys,
We didn't give her any things, did we?
She's gonna like scream and like be stood there with her hands in the air. I
What?
just saw a motherfucking unicorn. A unicorn, a horse with majestic hair flowing in the wind, a horn in its head. It spoke to me. It said hello. It knew I worshipped Lune. It said we're safe in the forest for the night when we have to leave, and it's protecting the forest. And it was so pretty and so cool. And
The madness of a travelling Sotnon.
Oh, she's got cart madness.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna grab Twilight's face and go, Twilight, did you eat anything? What did you eat? Just tell me. We're not gonna be mad.
I'm not.
We're not gonna be mad. We just need to know how to help you.
I haven't
Okay?
You guys can roll an insight check if you want.
I haven't eaten anything. Look at this stick. There's hair on this stick.
There is a long silver strand of hair on the stick, but you guys can roll an insight check to see if like you think she's telling the truth, or
16.
13.
3.
Because he still thinks I'm
because
lying.
you cannot read.
I'll get +3 on that.
You
It's about to be a
Twilight.
6.
You cannot read Twilight one way or the other. Sinclair and Gilliana. Twilight thinks she's telling the truth.
Okay. You saw a unicorn.
Literally, he just reared up and ran away as you guys were coming because you were really loud. But I think we're best friends.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm really sad you guys didn't get to see it because it was really cool, and now you don't believe me. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your eyes.
No, we definitely do believe you, don't we, Sinclair? Definitely.
Absolutely, yes.
I don't know what to believe. It's for madness.
I, for one, definitely believe you, and I'm actually really upset that you didn't think to introduce your new friend to Maple Syrup and Patch, because
Yeah.
They're going to be very sad that they've missed it.
I think they'd be heartbroken.
They will. I'm going to have to tell them all about it. I'll tell them all about it, and I will make them some fake horns to make up for it.
Okay, well, we're all starving, so...
Oh yeah, how do we get back? I don't even know where I am.
It's all right. We'll just follow the glittery footprints. That's how we got here. That's how we'll find our way back.
Yeah, you guys make your way back to camp and you set up for the night.
Well, that's it for another episode. Thanks for sticking with us. As usual, I'd like to thank Lixie B and Jeff for the wonderful logo and character art they created for us, the Storm Weather Shanty Choir for letting us use their song Drunken Sailor as our theme tune, DN Dice for sponsoring us, and all of our wonderful Patreon supporters who've been helping us out.
Our recommended podcast this week is Must Be Dice. This is another Rooster Teeth podcast, but this time it is the guys over at Funhouse, and they are playing a Monster of the Week game set in the fictional town of Paradise Pass. As we've mentioned a few times, we love the guys at Rooster Teeth. They're the reason this podcast exists, and I'm really enjoying hearing another Funhouse-based role-playing game. It's been a while since they did their D&D game, so it's nice to see them doing another one like this being released as a podcast. It's very fast-paced, very fun. Armando is a fantastic games master. I think he sets up a very good game. He doesn't take any shit from the players and just keeps things moving. So yeah, that is Must Be Dice by the Funhouse team over at Rooster Teeth. Definitely go and check them out. Unfortunately, this is another week without a promo, but we do have a little bit of news when this episode releases. It will be the first day of UK Games Expo, where myself, Pete and Jordan will all be attending. And you can also find our sponsor DN Dice at their own stall at the event. So if you're there, tweet at us, hunt us down like the dogs we are, and come and say hello. I should have some stickers and stuff with me which you can come and steal, but obviously I imagine with the number of listeners we have being at a very niche convention in the middle of the UK, probably not likely. but you never know. And finally, we should be updating our website soon. I'm hoping for this weekend, but if it isn't up yet, it should be up next week with a new store page. As you guys are aware, we absolutely love the artwork that Jeff has created for us for our second season, and we have been in talks with him to begin licensing some of it. Obviously, because we want to make sure that he gets paid a fair price, we are going to be releasing these a piece at a time, but we do obviously have the existing artwork that was created by Lixie B, so you'll be able to find all of this on our new store page, which I'm hoping should be live for this weekend. If not, keep an eye on the website, but we will definitely tweet about it as soon as it's launched. So if you're looking for any Modified Roll merch with either Lixie B or Jeff's art on them, head straight to our store and you can find it there. But other than that, that is it for this week, so we will see you soon.